make sure that if you're exercising on a daily basis, which you should be doing some type of movement every day, you want to make sure that you're doing this at the time of the day that you have the least pain. A lot of times with osteoarthritis, early morning is not the best, and same thing with rheumatoid arthritis. Early morning, your joints are so stiff that you just want to do some gentle movement in order to get the joints moving. Later in the afternoon may be your best time, but that's up to each individual. Just make sure that when you are exercising that you're not putting that hard and fast rule of having to do it at a certain time. It needs to be the typical most pain-free time for you. Another important tip that I highly recommend if you're starting a walking program and you have arthritis or any condition, you need to make sure that you're wearing the right shoes and that you are changing out your shoes regularly. What does that mean? It depends on each individual person. Because I do running and walking, I change out my shoes every 6 to 8 months based on my mileage. So you want to make sure the most important thing is that you don't just get some kind of off-the-shelf shoe that you don't know if it's good for your biomechanics. You want to go to a specialist. This doesn't have to be a podiatrist. This can be a store that has someone that is more knowledgeable about the biomechanics of the foot, and you need to find out what type of shoe you actually need. You also want very good shock absorption. So don't follow the trends. Don't say, oh, I've heard this is the best shoe. Each person is different, and every shoe is different for each person. So make sure you wear the correct shoe when you are starting a walking program. If your intention is to do water exercise, you want to make sure that the water temperature is between 83 to 88 degrees. Some people even say up to 96 degrees because warm water can help relax the joints and reduce the pain. So make sure that if you're doing this, you're not just jumping into a cold pool. That's not going to be what's the most beneficial for your joints. And here are a few rules regarding tips and precautions with osteoarthritis. You want to increase your activity time by no more than 10% per week. If you have swelling, increased pain, stiffness, don't stop all your activity. You want to do gentle exercises. So just if you're stiff, it makes you want to stop doing everything. And when you stop doing that, you're not getting, motion is actually providing nutrients to the joint, whether that be your knee, your hip, your spine, your shoulder. So you want to make sure that you're continuing to move. Motion is lotion for those joints. So make sure you keep moving even if you have pain. The rule on pain is if you have some discomfort with activity, which is to be anticipated, you're probably going to have that. It doesn't mean you're damaging your joints. So if the pain is greater for 2 hours after activity than it was prior to that activity, just go with a more gentle exercise next time. So that can happen, doesn't mean you've made things worse. It's temporary. And strength training precautions. If you have pain during an exercise, lower the weight or resistance, do less repetitions, don't go through as much of a range of motion, go with the range of motion that you have. If you feel uncomfortable with a certain exercise and you don't feel like you can do it, stop. Go to an easier exercise gradually. So if you're doing a squat and it's uncomfortable, don't go as low. So do a quarter squat. Do what you can. And then gradually increase as you get stronger and that pain gets better. The last tip I want to talk about is more specific to knee osteoarthritis. So you want to really do some type of stretching, dynamic and static. So dynamic is moving through the range of motion of the joint with movement, and then static means it's a static hold for anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds. So with knee osteoarthritis, the focus, I need you to focus on a couple of things. It's not just about the exercise. It's also about nutrition. It's about eating clean, getting that BMI under 25. All of the studies have shown that if you decrease your BMI which is your body mass index, to under 25, not a hard and fast rule because BMI is not the most accurate, but studies have shown that it's going to decrease the pain with your knee osteoarthritis. So another example would be to decrease your weight 10%. Now, there are some people who are not overweight who have knee osteoarthritis. I do understand that. But if you have any kind of weight issue, if your BMI is over 25 and you are overweight, losing 10% is going to have a significant impact on your joint pain.